You serious?
This is How to Kill an Hour. I'm Marcus Bronzy.
And I'm Funk Butcher.
There's plenty of ways to kill some time out there. Thank you for killing some time with us in advance. Before we start off the show, though, we're going to be at Shout Out Live Festival.
Yes, we are.
Shout Out Network. We've got a live festival. We're going to be down there. So I reel off a few other people. Two Fools Talking. They're going to be hosting the event. Grime Dailies, TBC podcast, Blackticulate, Ground Ego, 90s Baby, the Unoriginal podcast, Off the Cuff podcast, Pink Matter podcast, which probably has one of the best bits of artwork other than the How to Kill an Hour artwork.
Say Melanin Millennials.
Melanin Millennials are going to be down there as well. And special guests are going to be another round as well. And also, they are going to have the Friend Zone down there as well. It's going to be very, very big, man. Mostly Lit are going to be there as well. And they have a new headliner, which they are looking forward to announcing very soon. But, Frank, we've got a secret little code that we can share with listeners. So, if you're listening right now, lean in. We can give you a little bit of a, just, because we want to look after you a little bit, we can give you a little... when you got a mate that can just sort you out of the bar? Yeah. If you've got a mate behind the bar that will give you a double instead of a single when you order a drink? I'm always looking for
those kind of mates.
Those kind of mates. For Funk, it's a double Coca-Cola instead of a single Coca-Cola. Or you get charged for a small glass or a dash instead of a pint. That's what it is, isn't it? Yeah. So we're going to do that to you with this Shout Out Festival. And shout out... What? Let me get this right. It's called the Shout Out Live Festival. So we're going to hook you up, give you a $5 off a ticket. All you got to do is when you go to buy your tickets by going to solivefestival.com, put in the offer code, which is hour5.
And that's hour was in HOUR?
Yeah, HOUR
okay.
5, not hour 5 as in OU. No, not that, not hours.
Yeah.
As in an hour. Like, the show, How to Kill an Hour? Yeah. That's like that, hour 5. Okay. So do that. Anyway, Funk, loads to talk about this week. I feel like sometimes we never really have a slow week here at How to Kill an Hour.
Nope.
There's always a lot going on in the world, which we can talk about because we kind of lean into the tech and gadget side of things. I'd like to think. Yeah. So I'll leave it up to you, Funk. Should we stay with our usual method of I'll tell you how I've been killing some time? I've got a pretty cool thing that we kill a bit with, or do we jump into the elephant in the room?
Yes, let's deal with the elephant in the room.
Deal with
Dumbo. Let's deal with Dumbo in the room.
Wow. So you may or may have not heard that the NHS,
which is our National Health Service,
a service which is publicly funded by the most part at the moment,
the envy of the world.
Yes.
Apparently the reason why we have such crazy immigration in this country is because what they believe it's what they call it, health tourism. You break your leg, you go to, in fact for me it's just normal. If I broke my leg, God forbid, touch wood, I'll go hospital, they patch me up, send me home, done. None of this patch me up, give me a bill and make me pay before I leave. Or
none of that.
In some instances I've heard, before they patch you up, they give you the bill.
So really?
Yeah.
So you mean you come in there, you're having a heart attack, and then you're like, and they're like, "Excuse me, can you just sign a little bit of paperwork, please, before we heat up the electrodes?"
Yeah. Can you put your pin into the card reader, please?
We're ready to go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, sorry, it declined. Do you want to try any other? Yeah.
But this is such a contentious issue because obviously some people feel like health shouldn't be paid for. It should be a right.
I think health is a right. I think having a doctor's a right. I think it's a great idea, and I think we should continue having an NHS. But I don't know if it's going to be possible if things keep happening like what happened this week. The NHS were hacked. A cyber attack.
Yes.
Hit the whole of the UK, and as we're speaking right now, the hack is still happening. It's not been resolved as yet. So I'm going to be honest, I didn't delve into this story that much. So I'm enjoying the process of learning about this as we discuss this. So they recently confirmed that they were officially attacked, right? The NHS, because there were obviously there's a lot of people that were members of the public were talking about it, but it's officially out there now, right?
Apparently this happened Friday.
So this happened on Friday.
Friday just gone.
Day.
Yeah, so Friday, which I believe was the 11th.
Yep.
Was the...
Or 12th?
The 12th.
Of May 2017.
12th of May was the date that the hack got noticed.
Yeah.
Obviously, the hack could have been there for time, just waiting, dormant.
Yeah, and there's lots of different hacks and stuff. There's the ways you can hack into computers, but this is quite a specific type of hack, wasn't it? It was called a ransomware attack. Yeah. So what is a ransomware?
So apparently ransomware is a program which holds your files until you pay whatever amount the ransomer is asking for. So
somebody has managed to ransom the NHS. Mm-hmm. Clearly they've gone to the wrong place because the NHS ain't got no money. For starters, why are you doing this for? Why don't just do something like a bank? Yeah, that'd be a great idea.
But this software has existed for quite a while. I mean, it used to be used on a smaller scale to people who had kind of like small fortunes.
Yeah,
the ransomware would infiltrate their computer, hold their files, certain explicit documents, and they would threaten the person and say, we're going to leak these documents unless you pay this money,
or you just can't have your documents back. So say like you've got nice family photos or something like that, they'd lock down these photos and then be like, if you want your photos back, you got to pay. And they use Bitcoin as well, which is untraceable. Untraceable payments. Crazy.
Yeah.
So they've done this so they've put this ransomware, this Trojan, into the NHS.
Yeah.
And it's spread like wildfire. Like, how deep has this gone into the NHS?
Well, apparently,
you got a source.
I've got a source, a friend of mine who actually works for the NHS in a middle management position.
Yeah.
And apparently, he said 1 in 5 trusts have been affected, and you're looking in the region. I think there's about over 600 NHS different individual trusts which kind of look after their regions, and 1 in 5 have been affected. Now, apparently, a 22-year-old kind of halted the cyber attack.
Yeah.
And he kind of blew the whistle. It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
But I think generally the first reaction was the side eye went towards Eastern Europe, to Russia, because they seem to have built up quite a reputation for hacking. But apparently, Russia have had bodies within their country affected by this ransomware. So this ransomware actually is a global issue, but no one knows who's actually behind it.
So we still don't know who's behind it, and there's been rumours spreading that some of the tools that they used were tools that the NSA have picked up from someone else over the years.
Yeah.
So they're saying it could have come from there, but as yet we don't know.
Yeah.
But the clinch really is the reason why it's affected the UK. Me and Funk were trying to find out why it affected us in the UK so much more. Well, why it had such a it was more of a viral effect here in the UK. It spread,
and this is brilliant. I mean, this is brilliant because it kind of it shows the at a time when obviously June the 8th, 2017, there's a massive general election here, and what you don't want is to be caught with your pants down in the lead up to that general election, and what this issue has done is shown the ineptitude of the current government in dealing with something as simple as updating your software.
Because that's what it was. Because apparently it was a Windows XP exploit, right?
Yeah. So apparently the current NHS systems, which have got all the files of every patient up and down the country, uses XP systems, and the backup finished, or they stopped the support in 2016.
Yeah, so they stopped Windows XP support in 2016, which really means you need to upgrade your computer to a different software, and the NHS. Somebody had to. There's a guy right now who is there going, we could spend some money on upgrading all the computers, or we could not.
Somebody couldn't be bothered to get the McAfee or what's the other one? The other security software,
Norton antivirus.
The Norton antivirus. Someone couldn't be bothered to kind of load that into the system,
and then
they were too busy, I don't know, playing solitaire, and
then this has happened. So basically, if they spend a little bit of money, this is so the reason the UK has been affected so badly is because we haven't upgraded our computers.
Yeah.
So long story short, if we had updated our computers, we wouldn't have been as adversely affected, hopefully. Right?
Yeah, I mean, that's what people are saying. We still would have been affected, but it wouldn't have been, this widespread.
I'm on the Microsoft website. Windows XP support has ended 1st of September 2016.
Which is embarrassing.
That's embarrassing. Basically, when they stop doing security updates on your computer, you need to move on and get the next version. Like, oh my gosh. It's funny, except for the fact that it's kind of affecting something that we all need to use, or might need to use. Do you get me? So I'm like, ha ha. But if it means that I can't get an appointment now, or something's messed up for me, there's people that have vital treatments.
Well, this has been a direct result since Friday. Certain cancer treatments have been messed up. Certain documents have gone missing. Certain people's blood types are kind of like, and obviously when you're looking at this is it's not even an adage or a cliche. This is a life and death situation, literally. And if you're dealing in an issue where you need to have like a certain blood transfusion immediately, and you're getting the blood types of patients wrong, based on the fact someone wasn't on point enough to update the security systems of arguably what is known as the 5th largest employer in the world.
What?
Yeah.
So, what?
Yeah. So I mean, there's you probably might not hit the headlines now because obviously with the general election, but there's going to be some sackings, and they have to. The whoever is whoever's next going to be on the chopping board, it's not going to bode well for the current Conservative government, who are already taking an L when they previously tried to roll out an homogenous NHS system, which basically linked all the different departments so they're under one hub. So currently now, if you was to go to in London, there's different boroughs, and if you was to go to a hospital, let's say in the borough of Hackney, and go to a hospital in the borough of Waltham Forest, which is neighbouring, your documents may not be transferred over because you exist in the different trusts.
Crazy.
So what they try to do, they try to homogenize this one system. The system cost £1 billion and it didn't work.
So they wasted a bill.
So they wasted £1 billion of taxpayers' money.
So now, this is
So this is like strike 2.
So basically, are we saying, speaking of money, to ransomware, like a ransom, you pay the ransom and it gets out and you get off it. Do you think they're going to have to pay the ransom?
I'm not. This is the thing.
People's lives are at stake. Pay the money.
Yeah. I'm not sure if the ransomware was set up to affect the NHS system in the way it would affect a personal system, because you can't really hold the NHS to ransom. I think what it did is it put a freeze on things and literally just kind of like messed up the whole systems.
Do you know what the advice is currently for employees that are going into work on the Monday after the attack happened on the Friday? Do you want to know what their number one bit of advice is?
Yeah, don't talk to the press.
Oh, once you do that, do you want to know what they said? What? Don't turn your computer on. That's our line of defense. Just don't turn your computer on. So you got to go into work and not use a computer.
Yeah.
How does that work?
And it's sad because obviously the current NHS staff are like literally, they are absolutely under it. I've been in that hospital for the past God knows how many years, and the morale has dropped. And even with this, the unappreciated NHS staff are being asked to kind of work double shifts now that the computers were down.
Crazy.
So whoever kind of these next few weeks are going to be very interesting, because you're looking at who can provide that special rhetoric to kind of cheer up the NHS staff and the doctors off the back of this. And it's all about the words now. If the words are wrong, that's it.
Crazy times.
Yeah.
Snap general election.
Yeah. But I think
NHS hack.
Yeah, I think what we could be looking at though is the beginning of a new form of well, not a new form, but definitely the beginning moment of cyber terrorism. Because nothing this big has really kind of had an effect. I mean, you have like certain companies, obviously you had Sony that got hacked and everything, but Sony is kind of like a private company. This is a huge public organization that's been hacked.
Crazy.
And they did it pretty easily as well.
Because they didn't update their computers. That's ridiculous, man. That is so like that. If that's the real reason, if one of the reasons is because they didn't get a security update and they're really all on XP, that's ridiculous, man. That's terrible. But yeah, all right. So that's that. We've covered that.
Yeah.
I think we should just wrap this episode here. I think, let's leave it neat and tidy. You know, let's let this episode focus on the NHS hack.
Yes.
We'll probably cover it when there's some more updates on the situation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We might have to do like a phoner or something like that. Get on the phone and see, because something hot might happen. Who knows? Like, what if the NHS ends up paying the ransom? Like, I'm thinking honestly. So say like, I had a very close relative that had treatment, like a life-saving treatment, and they can't get that treatment this week.
Yeah.
But if the NHS paid, I don't know, 100 mil, it would unlock the system.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd be up for spending that extra 100 mil. Tax me a bit more.
Yeah.
Would you be up for that?
I don't think it's just not feasible, because they don't actually have the money.
Can't they just do what the government usually do and just make it up, make the money? Just.
But I think this government is like the US government, where they actually don't. They've got the policy of that they don't pay terrorists.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. We do not. We do not negotiate with terrorists.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Fair enough. Well, we'll keep it on it. There's plenty of ways to kill some time out there. Thank you for killing some time with us. I've been Marcus Brossi. After you, sir.
I've been Funk Butcher.
I've been Marcus Bronzy. Also, don't forget, if you want to get that little bit of discount off the Shout Out Live Festival, go to their website, solivefestival.com, and type in the special code hour 5 when you're booking your tickets. Bless.